The Colorado football team has a big year ahead of them as this will be year 2 of the Deion Sanders era and year 1 in the Big 12. Last season didn't go so well as the Buffaloes ended up finishing with a 4-8 record, and they came in last place in the Pac-12. Something needs to change this year. Colorado will get their 2024 season on August 29th, and it could be a tricky matchup as they will host North Dakota State football. North Dakota State football is an FCS team, but they can certainly compete with teams that are in Power 5 conferences. Colorado football will take on the Bison to start the season, and it could end up being a pretty tricky contest. In fact, Deion Sanders wishes that he had an easier game out of the gates. I'm mad at AD Rick George right now for putting them on the schedule to open up with them, Sanders said at Big 12 Media Days, according to a tweet from Ross Dellinger. Can you give me a layup? That Week 1 game is going to be incredibly important. Colorado football has to get out to a good start next season, and that game isn't going to be easy. After finishing in last place in the Pac-12 last year, there is a lot of pressure on this Buffaloes team. They need to find a way to have more success this season, and starting the season with a loss to an FCS team would be nothing short of disastrous. They need to win that one. Deion Sanders went on to talk more about the North Dakota State football team, and he had a lot of good things to say about them. He knows that this is a sound team that is going to give his Colorado football team a good fight, and he is excited for the challenge. They're good. They're really darn good, Sanders said, according to a tweet from Jake Schwanitz. I'm mad at Rick George right now for putting them on the schedule. Those kids play their butts off. They don't make many mistakes. They're accustomed to winning. We can't wait to see them. Phenomenal matchup. That program is second to none. Things don't get much easier for the Buffaloes in the weeks after that. They are playing primetime matchups in each of the first 3 weeks of the season as they head to Nebraska the following week, and then they play at Colorado State in Week 3. The Rams aren't expected to be good, but they did take Colorado to overtime last season in Boulder. The bottom line is that this Colorado football team needs to be ready to go right out of the gates to start the season. They will be immediately tested in Week 1 with a tricky matchup against North Dakota State, and then they follow that up with 2 more difficult tests. After those 3 games, Big 12 play gets underway. The Buffaloes have to find success in the non-conference to get some momentum going into conference play. Once conference play starts, Colorado doesn't have a very difficult schedule. The Big 12 is relatively weak as they don't really have any teams that are national title threats, and they only have a few that seem like they could be top 25 teams. Every team will likely present a challenge for Sanders and the Buffaloes, but their schedule is easy compared to teams in other major conferences.